Let me take you on a journey back to the 17th century, a time when Africa's spirit burned brighter than ever, embodied by a woman whose courage, wit, and relentless determination reshaped history. I'm talking about Queen Nzinga, a name that still echoes as a symbol of resistance and empowerment against the brutal tides of colonialism. I first discovered her story when I was searching for heroes who defied the odds. Born into royalty in the heart of what is now Angola, Nzinga's early years were steeped in the traditions and struggles of her people. Even as a child, she showed an uncanny ability to read people and situations, traits that would later make her an indomitable leader. Imagine a young girl observing the simmering tensions between rival kingdoms and the ominous encroachments of European forces. The seeds of rebellion and resilience were sown in her heart from an early age. As she grew, the trials of her people became her own. The Portuguese were encroaching, their ships cutting through the coastal mists like harbingers of doom. The arrival of these foreigners meant not only a threat to sovereignty, but a challenge to the very dignity of her people. In a world where diplomacy was often as sharp as a spear, Nzinga emerged as a brilliant strategist. She refused to bow to foreign powers and their demands for submission. Instead, she turned every meeting into a demonstration of defiant power. I still remember the legendary encounter with a Portuguese governor, when he expected her to lower herself. Nzinga, with an iron resolve, maneuvered the seating arrangement so that she sat elevated above him. That moment wasn't just about physical stature, it was a bold statement that she would never be diminished. Her leadership was not just defined by brilliant negotiation, it was etched in the scars of countless battles. Nzinga led her armies into combat with a ferocity that both shocked and inspired. She was not one to hide behind walls or retreat in the face of overwhelming odds. There are accounts of her donning male attire to rally her warriors, symbolically breaking the chains of traditional expectations. With every battle fought, every strategy devised, she transformed setbacks into lessons, using guerrilla tactics that bewildered the Portuguese, forcing them into conflicts on unfamiliar terrain. Each victory was a small rebellion against the oppressive forces that sought to erase her people's identity. What truly sets her legacy apart is not merely her military prowess, but her unwavering commitment to her people's dignity. In a time when the colonial powers were quick to exploit every weakness, Nzinga's brilliance lay in her ability to forge unexpected alliances. She understood that survival meant adapting, using every tool available, be it in negotiation, subterfuge, or outright warfare. Her diplomatic maneuvers were as daring as they were innovative. She would often host feasts and gatherings, turning what could have been a vulnerable moment into an opportunity to assert strength and unity among her people. In these gatherings, every gesture, every word, was carefully measured to remind both her allies and adversaries that her spirit could never be tamed. Yet, her journey was fraught with betrayal and loss. Internal strife and the constant pressure of an enemy with superior firepower forced her to make gut-wrenching decisions. Friends became foes, and allies turned traitor, yet throughout it all, Nzinga's resolve only hardened. Each challenge she faced was a crucible that refined her leadership, leaving behind a legacy that would inspire countless generations long after her time. The shocking reality of her story is that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, she stood tall, a beacon of hope and resilience. Now, as I reflect on Queen Nzinga's life, I can't help but see parallels in our own struggles today. Her story isn't just a relic of the past, it's a living, breathing reminder that the fight for justice, dignity, and freedom is eternal. She once said through her actions that, "When you refuse to submit, even the mightiest of empires can be shaken to their core." If you've been captivated by this tale of defiance, strategy, and enduring legacy, I invite you to join me on this journey of uncovering history's hidden heroes. Here on Story Footprints, we're not just telling stories, we're unearthing the footprints left behind by those who dared to challenge the status quo. So, if Queen Nzinga's fearless spirit moved you today, don't let her legacy fade into the shadows. Hit that like button, share this video with fellow history enthusiasts, and subscribe to Story Footprints for more riveting tales that will change the way you see the world. Let's keep the spirit of resistance and empowerment alive. Together, we can ensure that these stories continue to inspire generations to come.